Find us some shade. We was outside, but let me make it clear to you: it's hot as all get out there. We're actually on the new device, so I hope y'all can hear me. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let a couple people get in. And we're gonna talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Can I I'm learning how to pin the topic. Let me learn how to pin the topic. It's a different type of vibe, man, when you really wanna get people to understand certain things. Um His things he's crazy, but nah, I'm not. Um, let's start a poll too. Let's start a poll. Even if the parent of let's start a poll. Should you hold on, let me turn this AC down a little bit. Should you this am I spelling that right? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying to make sure I spell this correctly. Let's start the poll. Let's start the poll. What's up, man? Yeah, everybody good? I hope y'all good. I hope y'all blessed. So, first question I gotta ask is: should you check someone else's kid if you're raising them? Should you be allowed to check them? Like if they acting a fool, should you be allowed to check them? Should you be safe or discipline them in any form fashion? You know what I'm saying? If y'all are trying to get y'all sound quality up, I hope y'all can hear me. If y'all trying to get y'all sound quality up, make sure y'all grab y'all's. You know what I'm saying? Grab these at work, get it off the TikTok shop. You heard? All right. So let's go. Let's get it popping. Should you be allowed to check somebody else's kid? And let me give you the scenarios before we just go head in. If you're raising someone else's children, right? You're in a relationship with the mom, you're in a relationship with the dad, whatever it is, and the kid is out of control. The kid is getting to a point where it really feels like it doesn't have to listen, does what it wants. The mom can't get them in place, the dad can't get them in place. Should you be allowed to check the kid? Or does it matter how long you've been in the kid's life? Let's talk about that, right? That's the poll question. So if y'all can just vote down there on the poll question, we going at the end of this see what it is. You know what I'm saying? We just want to know, should you be allowed to check somebody else's kid when the person can't check their own kid? And I'm gonna tell you one thing: a kid that's out of control when you get in a relationship with the other parent, been out of control. Just keep that in mind. It didn't just happen when you showed up. Just keep that in mind. All right. So let's go. Co-parenting. Let's talk co-parenting. I hope all y'all. Big Cat, what up, baby? Only if the kid is living in my house. Okay, let me ask you a question. What if you moved into the mother's house? If you moved into the mother house or the father's house, and now you're a combined family, do you feel like you should check the kid? And do you know what age limit you should start checking the kid? What do I mean by check? What I mean by is if let's say I'm gonna give you a scenario. What if the mother is trying to tell the kid, hey, get up, hello, get up, make your bed, wash these dishes, and take the clothes out. I mean, take the trash out, right? What if the mother said it over and over and over, and the kid is being disrespectful? Man, I'll get to it in a minute. I'm playing a game right now. Do you feel like you have the right to stand up and say, hey, what did your mom just tell you? That's what I mean by check. I don't mean check as far as spanking a child. I don't mean that. I mean check them. Like put them back in their place. You know what I'm saying? From Brazil, what's up? Make sure you follow me. I'll follow you back. Um, do you feel like you should intervene? Or if the father has a daughter and the daughter has makeup on and the father doesn't allow the daughter to wear makeup, but the mother does, should you say, hey, you know how it is with your daddy, you shouldn't be wearing that? Should you be allowed to check the kid? If I move in that's a no, because the baby daddy still has influence in her house. But no. Okay, well, let me ask you this. What if the baby daddy's only part-time active? What if he's only part-time active? Let's put an age limit. What age limit should we say? Let's not put teenagers. Let's put let's say from 6 years old to age 11. Age 11. Should you be allowed to check a kid if you're raising a kid from 6 years old to 11 years old? Should you be allowed to put your influence and your imprint on that kid to let, because I know a lot of people are like, man, if the dad is around, the dad don't live in the house. The dad don't live in the house. The father's probably telling him you don't got to listen to your mom, right? This is probably what you're hearing from these kids, right? The mother's probably saying you ain't got to like dad's new girlfriend. It's a lot of things that fall into place. That's why we're going to roll into this. Let's talk about checking, because checking a kid rolls into co-parenting. That's why I asked that question. So when you check a kid, right? Is it for the best interest of the household, or is it just for the best interest of the kid? I told my homeboy, I said, listen, you can't raise, and I'm sorry to say it the way I'm going to say it, but I hope nobody takes offense. You can't raise interracial kids the same way you would raise a white kid or you would raise an Hispanic kid. You just cannot do it. Interracial kids, that what I mean by interracial, I mean black kids that got black family members that got black rules. That's what I'm saying. Because even white kids have white rules, Hispanic kids have Hispanic rules. But if you got a kid who mom is Mexican and Puerto Rican, and that kid is Mexican, Puerto Rican, black, the rules change, right? The rules change. What I mean by that is, me being black and Puerto Rican, no one can spank my kids. If I find out, because I'm an active father, if I find out, we got to go a different route. If said man is a stand-up guy with morals and integrity, he will say something. But a man that's only there for X will let the kids do it. Okay, I get where you're going with that, Brody. I get where you're going with that. But what I'm asking you is this: you're the guy that's been there the whole time. Mom and dad separated when the kid was like 5, 6 years old. You've been there the whole time raising this kid. Dad is like really just a pop-up whenever he feels like it. He takes the kid, buys the kid whatever, fills the kid's head full of everything, lets the kid run rampant, and then the kid comes back and believes it can do that at that moment in that house. Do you check the kid? Or do you have that one conversation that we all love to say, yo, the rules at their house ain't the same as the rules over here. You know how to act. We raised you well. Do you give them that conversation? Because I know a lot of people who get in their feelings. Like, I'm a firm believer. If I'm paying the bills, I don't care who house I'm in. If I'm paying the bills and we are a couple and this is a long-term thing, and I've been buying your shoes and I'm feeding you and I'm asking you to do little things. If I ask you to do something, it's the same thing as your mom asking you to do it. And you do it for me, but you don't do it for her because you don't feel like you need to. I'm checking you. I'm checking you. I don't care whose kid it is. Now, what I won't do is discipline your kid in the sense of physical abuse. I will give the father an opportunity. I think more men need to communicate with the father if he's active. Hey, I need you to come through. Can you come and talk to your kid? He or she's doing X, Y, and Z. Are you allowing that? The moment you hear no, I need you to pull up. Because sometimes the father and the mother don't agree, right? Like, I can honestly say I got twin daughters right now that are 15 years old. They wear makeup. I was never a fan of it. But me and the mom had to get an understanding, like, look, there are certain colors that will not be worn. I will not waver from that. The black and the red lipstick and nail polish, they're not allowed to wear it. Agreed. Agreed. Overkill on makeup. I will make you take it off. If you're starting to look older than what you need to be, I will make you take it off. Agreed. Your new man can't never spank my kids. Agreed. Your new woman can't spank my daughters. Agreed. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things. I'm checking the kid regardless if the dad is active or not, especially if I'm raising the kid. Not to mention if I'm paying all the bills, that helps sustain life. Exactly. Exactly. And this is where a lot of people get in their feelings, right? I'm a firm believer that if if I ask you to do something, it's not because I'm asking you to do something that I would do myself. If I say, hey, take that trash off, man, real quick. Don't worry about putting a new bag in. I got you while you taking it out. That's teamwork. But if I'm outside cutting the grass and I say, hey, come outside, let me show you how to do this. Now I want to play the video game. No, well, when you ask me to buy you a new video game, I'm gonna tell you no, because this is called the earning learning process, right? I believe that when you co-parent, I believe like if you co-parent correctly, everything is straight. Everything is straight. I've raised boys, and these are my sons no matter what. I've raised boys, right? My shorty had three sons. I only got to raise two of them, right? And let me explain something to you. The youngest son one time decided he was gonna man up. I got in his face. Never put my hands on him. I got in his face, let him know, man, as long as I'm protecting you and doing for you, you will respect me no matter what, because I respect you. I do more for you than your own father does. Do you know to this day he loves me like I gave him life? Because kids want structure. They want discipline. Discipline don't mean you always got to grab them. You ain't got to do all that, right? But it's weird when they would go on visits. Their father would just try to like buy them, da da da, but he would never teach them to be men. He would never teach them to be men. They would always come back to me for the conversation, and I would have that real life conversation with them. Like I didn't run that by their father because I was around long enough to see that at that time he was a scum bucket. At that time, he really only wanted to be with the mom. If he couldn't be with the mom, he didn't really care. He didn't care. But as time went on, the elevation of conversation was say, man, I need us to be on the same page, right? I got a daughter who has a stepfather, right? To show you why he never got respect for me, because when he asked me, could he move my daughter and his now wife across town, he came to me drunk. So I had no respect from him from that moment on. Like, I don't respect you, dog. You over here asking me, can my kid move across town and you're going to be drunk? Nah, my kid can't move across town. I had to go to court, get permission for them to move across town, right? Me and that parent never could co-parent. To this day, I can't stand her. But I try to show the most respect because of my daughter. But now that my daughter's of age, I let my daughter can talk to me whenever. You know what I'm saying? You never want to talk down on the other parent in front of the kid. You never want that. Because most kids got it in their head that, hey, my parents are cool. They talk to each other. When it comes to us, they're in sync with it, right? Co-parenting sometimes fails because men and women, you allow the person in your life to try to dictate what should and should not happen when it comes to your kids. You sometimes have to say, I need you to fall back. When I need your opinion, I'll ask you for it. But whatever was in place before, you got to be in place while you're here. Because my life has to be easy. My kid's life has to be easy. The other parent's life has to be easy. The moment you have that one blowout, that's it. That's where it ends. That's where we're never going to be on that page again. Never. Now, what do we say to the deadbeat mom who uses the kids as a weapon to hurt the other parent? And we're gonna say deadbeat mom, because deadbeat means that you are using your children to hurt somebody, not knowing you're really hurting them. So, and I'll get to the deadbeat dad in a minute, but the deadbeat mom is the woman or the female who will complain to everybody else about the bad situation that they put themselves in and take it out on the kids. You ever hear a mom say, you look just like your father and you act just like him? You ever hear a kid say, yeah, I'm gonna leave you too? Like, for real. Because a mom, it's not all of y'all, but some moms hate the father so much that they'll take it out on the kid. Oh, I'm getting child support. Okay, we're gonna swing into that real quick because I want y'all to understand what the key factor in child support is for the support of the child. Not to support your drinking habits, your eating habits, your shoes, not to support your nails, not to support your hair. That is not what it's for. It's for to support your child, which means a certain amount of money goes to the light bill because your kid is there, groceries because your kid is there, clothes for your child. Now, I don't care if you have 5 other kids, that check ain't for them. That check is for that child. And a lot of parents and people get mad when I say that, but that's facts. Don't have me shopping at Walmart because you're trying to take my, let's just put a number of $600 out there. A kid can make it every month off of $600 every single month if that money is used on the kid only. I get moms who say, well, I have other kids. That's your fault. You should go get a child support from the other dads. My money ain't got nothing to do with your little crumb snatchers over there. I gotta take care of mine. Right? I'm like in Texas, they passed this thing where like you can see where every dollar goes. They have a card. You see where every dollar goes. I'm not on child support no more, thank God, but I sympathize with y'all who are. But you have to understand this. If a woman feels like, oh, I worked hard and if I want to just take a little bit of money out, I can. No, you can't. If you want to take a little bit of money out of your paycheck, out of your pockets, and that's fine. That's you earn that. But if your kid's money's coming and there's some extra money left over, that's for your kid. That's not for you. Your kid might be, hey, I want to go to McDonald's. I know I got this much money left. Can I go? Well, why are you watching the money so hard? Because it's mine. It's mine. It's not for you. It's for me. And you get sorry parents like that. I'm sorry, but there are sorry moms out there in the world who really, 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 really do that. Now let's get to you bum fathers, you sorry fathers. And I know a lot of people are going to be in their feelings about this, but this is facts. Some of y'all need to understand just because you broke up with the mom, you didn't break up with the kids. You need to stop being so stupid. Your kids still got to eat, whether you see them or not. They still got to eat. They still got to have clothes. They still got to have medical. They got to do the things that you should provide as a man. You understand? You got to be a man. I don't care. There's times where I would shop at Payless, but my kids would have Jordans and Nikes on their feet. Why? Because I've grown up to a point where I'm good with whatever's on my feet, but they still got to go through the harsh reality of being made fun of if they wear the wrong thing. That's reality. Stop letting your new girlfriend, who's not good with her baby daddy, tell you how not to be good with your baby mom. You need to get rid of that, bro. If you are the type of man that's a stand-up man and your baby mom can just call you and say, hey, can you just on this day make sure I got $200 because they got doctor's appointments. You make sure that 200 is in effect. You make sure. And if your girlfriend or whoever you're with has a problem with that, you tell her to go check her baby daddy first before she get in your business. That's what you do. Because your kids look at the kind of man you are based on how you treat their mom. That is facts. So what if your girlfriend's mad? So what? Oh, you and your baby mom probably still sleeping together. Why? Because we're cordial and you and your baby daddy ain't? No, everybody ain't on that type of time. Some people are really in it for their kids. Now, in the same token, your baby mom and baby dad can't speak about the new person you're with. In the same token. Oh, you got her around my kids? Yup. Just like you got that new dude around mine? Yup. Because sometimes the person you with will treat your kids better than what the real parent treated them. Sometimes the person that you're with will love your kids unconditionally like they love their kids. That happens. The fact that a man and a woman can be cordial in a new relationship. Now, you might get a woman that says, hey, they don't talk to your baby mama like that. Because if you talk to her like that, what tells me you won't speak to me like that eventually? Sometimes you need that person to come to you and say, You out of line. And men, instead of being like, man, I'm a man, don't tell me, take a deep breath and be like, what did I say that was out of line? Okay, you probably right. You know what I'm saying? Take it. That's called growing up. That's called growing up. Then there's times, I'll give you an example. I had to sit down with one of my baby moms and her husband because I had to make sure he got the same message she was going to get. One, I don't got no kids with you. So I don't have to run this conversation through you to make sure she understands that there's going to be a certain amount of things I'm not going to allow my child to go through. I just want you here so you can understand what the consequences are going to be if you ever violate what I put in place. I mean, your kid live in my house. Okay, but my kid, I pay bills in your house. When I send a child support check, I pay bills in your house. So therefore, that's technically our house. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to call shots in our house. You know what I'm saying? When it come to my kid. And dudes be, once you say something like that to a dude, they be like, man, take him out child support, man. He don't need to have they slow because they really think that that's facts and it's really not, but they slow as hell, right? There's moments where you have to realize that if you play your position correctly, you never have problems. You never have problems. One thing I hate is to see a father doing good and a mom struggling to take care of his responsibilities. That's one thing I hate. I can't stand it. I don't want to see it. It really makes me want to just grab hold and just, what are you doing? How do you got Jordans and all this and jewelry and all that, and your kid is not dressed correct? What's going on? Or you get that mom that says, I don't need them and I'm gonna prove it to you, and she'll go out there and make sure her kids look top notch when they leave the house. And dad looking like she must got a new dude. No, she's a woman. She got up off her ass and she went out there and did what she was supposed to do. Or the father who said, I ain't waiting on no check to come in the mail to dress my kids. I'll work 2, 3 jobs to make sure mine's straight. It happens, people. It happens. Now, we're not going to say that hard times won't come and you need that assistance. And you should be allowed to go to your baby daddy or your baby mama and say, hey, you know what? We both went 50-50 on these kids. When income tax hits, can you, when you claim them, can I get $2,000? Sometimes if you got a cool situation, yeah, because they feel like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me look out for you. Sometimes, no, that money's all for me and my kids. You ain't gonna be spending your money. All right, cool. Now remember how you act now. I'm gonna remember that when you be trying to ask me to, can I loan you money to take the kids here and there? Remember that, because that it plays in. Trust me, it plays in. I've never had to ask none of my kids' mom for no income tax money because I know how to save money throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? But I do know hard times come. I know some of my friends who've gone through that and they stood on it. They stood on it. When the year came, hey, your kid needs, yeah, I know you still got some of the income tax money left over because you can use that to buy it for them. Some of my friends went hard in the paint like that. And I was like, yeah, I agree 100%. Let's talk about grandparents. Grandparents, I love y'all. Y'all are amazing, but sometimes y'all need to mind y'all damn business. Y'all need to shut up, mind your business. Don't tell your kid how to raise their kid. Oh, don't spank them. Don't chastise them. When you used to beat the brakes off us. When you used to have us stand in that corner for about a good hour until we fell asleep and just fell. Boom. You know what I'm saying? You have to let the parent raise their kid. If you're always interfering, guess what happens? Well, I'll just go to grandma. I'll just go to grandpa. Nah, nah, nah. I don't care what they say. They don't run nothing here. They don't run nothing here. They can talk all they want. You know what they can also do? Get out my house. And when they get out, you still got to deal with me. Now what? Now what? You have to make sure that your children don't go through rough times because you decided that you didn't know how to manage your life. It's just facts. Facts. Stop waiting on something to happen in life and go make it happen. You got to make it happen. Nobody's hiring. Yes, everybody's hiring. You just don't want that job. I don't care if I gotta shovel dog shit off the curb. My kids gotta eat. To the curb I go. I don't care if I have to pick cans out of a garbage can. I'm picking cans up because enough of them cans add up to a great amount of money. I don't care if I gotta go donate plasma to make sure my kids are straight. One thing they're not gonna do is suffer. They're not gonna suffer. If I'm used to a certain lifestyle and my kids are used to a certain lifestyle, I gotta do whatever it takes to maintain that lifestyle. Now, are there gonna be times where I say, hey, I can't get that for you right now, you're gonna have to hold off? Yeah, it's gonna definitely be times like that. There's gonna be those times. There's also gonna be those times where you have to look at the mom or the dad, whoever the majority holder of the kids are at the time, and say, hey, stop telling them I can afford this because I really can't. And unless you going half on it with me, I'm gonna tell your mom where's her half. Tell your dad where's his half. We gonna go half on it because shoes ain't cheap, clothes ain't cheap, glasses ain't cheap, dental ain't cheap, everything costs. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be like that. Now, fellas and real women, we salute y'all who get up at 5 in the morning. Some get up at 4. Who get up, get breakfast cooked, get the clothes laid out for the kids. You might even get the clothes laid out for your significant other. We salute y'all, really, we do. But one thing we don't want to hear is like, did your ex do this for you? Man, if she did, I'll still be there. If he did, you would still be there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to hear about the exes. We here with you. We appreciating you. We loving you. We want you to know ain't nothing greater to us right now than God than you. That's where we at. We don't want to hear nothing else. So you got to really understand the relationship aspect could take a turn if you always bring up something about the ex. It'll take a turn. A person will be like, yo, if you want to bring up the ex so much, why don't you go over there and talk to the ex and date her or date him, something? Because you bringing them up more than I do. You will fall into that. You will fall into that. The person you're with right now needs to understand. If I'm not bringing them up in conversation, you ain't got the right to bring them up in conversation. If they're going through something personal in their life, you ain't got the right to worry about it because you ain't going to, unless you're going to donate to the cause, don't ask, don't say nothing, just be quiet. Because sometimes the relationship that y'all are in can take a fall when you say, that ain't none of your business. Oh, you're defending? No, I'm saying it ain't none of your business because it ain't none of your business. Relationships take turns because the one person don't know how to play their position and stay in their lane. That's it. You don't want people in your business, then stop worrying about what somebody else is doing. That's it. Men, if you ever notice, a man will never say, like, your baby daddy come around, he ain't really worried about your baby daddy. First of all, we looking at your baby daddy. We looking at him like, damn, you actually dated this month? Like, we looking at him like, damn. Because please believe every dude has done it. We look at the dude you will, we like, you didn't even upgrade? Like, he's here. He's just here. He's here? You didn't upgrade? You ever seen a woman mad? Because she don't feel like you upgraded past her? Like, if I don't argue with the new person, I've upgraded. Because that's facts. I don't have to argue. Shoot, I've upgraded. But what I'm saying, and I'm not saying I'm going through this personally, y'all. I'm just giving y'all the scenario. You have to be able to say, let's talk. Every conversation don't got to be an argument. Let's talk. Let me tell you what's bothering me. Now, one thing I will say, because I've seen this firsthand, if your baby mama and your girlfriend are arguing, you got to tell your girlfriend, I need you to fall back. Just go get in the car and just hold off. Just go. And then you need to correct your baby mom. If your baby daddy and your boyfriend are arguing, because I've been there where it can get volatile. Like, I've had a baby daddy say, it's lucky for y'all kids or I would fight him. Well, you get beat up playing with me, boy. You know what I'm saying? But it happens. It's even more funnier when you say it to your kids and they laugh. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you would fight them? Because they know. They see it. Right? But it never should come to that. It should never come to that. You should always be like, say, man, you are, if you got a problem with me, let's discuss the problem. If your kids love me more than they love you, that means something wrong with you. That means you as a person missed out somewhere. You didn't stand tall. You didn't treat their mama right. You didn't treat the daddy right. Something is wrong. Your kids should love you no matter what. Like my kids tell me every single day. I get about 10 phone calls. My youngest son, man, he'll tell me, hey, Dad, what you doing? Jalen, let's go work out. Okay. Let's go to the swim pool. Okay. Let's go play basketball. Okay. Because our rapport is different. My two daughters, Dad, I just want to go to my friend's house, but I was told I got to ask you, well, where your friend live at? Over here. Well, how long you going to be there this time? Is that the time frame you gave to your mom? Well, no, I told her a little bit later. No. So you tell me 7 and you told her 8. So 7 o'clock it is. Call your mom and tell her to pick you up at 7. Okay. And I want a phone call when you get to your friend's house. Not a regular one. I need to FaceTime. You need to FaceTime me so I can see who's there because I don't trust none of these little boys. You at the swimming pool? Cool. My kids never go to a pool or anywhere without their other cousins. My little cousin Mikey and all them be like, yo, I'm finna go over here and chill. Layla and Jay, my kids are with me. You know what I'm saying? Like the kids, they're gonna be. So my youngest son, and all of them are always together. And I say to my daughters all the time, you grew up faster body wise than the average 15-year-old. So you can't wear certain things, put a long shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Because grown men nasty out here in these streets looking. They nasty. But you have to make sure that your co-parenting is at an all-time high. Hey, we got daughters who are dressing like this. I don't approve of it. And if you let them do it again, I'm going to embarrass them. Okay. My son too. None of my sons have ever embarrassed me. Never. They dress a certain way. They look a certain way. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. And they don't all have the same mom. It's just that they know from which I come from that I don't play disrespect. You have to make sure that you're in a position where you can say, hey, this is cool for me. Even the relationships y'all have with people at work, you have to make sure people at work understand that you're not to be played with. You're not to be played with. Look, I respect you, you respect me, but watch how you talk to me. Watch how you handle this. This is a business relationship. This is a work environment. Watch how you do. You know what I mean? And if you got anger issues, you need to really, really focus on correcting it before you try to love somebody. Because nobody should have to pay for somebody else's mistakes ever. I got y'all men. Let me say y'all men and women. If you did some effed up stuff in the past, your past don't define your future. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody's leaning on your past every time you turn around, go be with this person, go chill with that. You just look at them and be like, I don't need you. I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you. And the worst thing you can do is get a person, man or woman, to a point where they say, go ahead. This relationship ain't for me no more. Because you don't care about how I'm feeling. Your job is to make me feel as bad as possible, and my job is to make sure I stay on top. Come on, man. I gotta have conversations. Make sure though, because I'm about to get off. Make sure y'all understand one big thing. If I love you, I love your kids, I love us. That's it. If I love you, I love your kids, that means I love us. I'm here for the long haul. But nobody disrespects me in the home that we are providing for each other. Always be on that we tip instead of that I tip. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all understand that. So we are going to do the poll. The poll says 44% of people said yes, you should check these kids. You should check them. 56% of y'all said no. Y'all said no to checking the kids. So it is what it is. It's up to y'all's own discretion. Um, like I said, I'm gonna check your kid if I'm raising your kid and I'm providing. I'm checking your kid, but not physically. But it's all gravy. It's all gravy. So I want y'all to have a great day, man. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what the topic gonna be tomorrow. I don't know what it's gonna be tomorrow. I might be back later on tonight because I don't know what the topic is, but we're gonna find one and we're gonna roll with it. Um, I want all y'all to stay blessed, never stress. You know what I'm saying? Stay blessed and never stress, because that is one thing right now that a lot of y'all are so stressed out mentally that you can't physically move forward in life. So I want y'all to stop being stressed out mentally, and we'll figure the plan to make sure we all good. Make sure y'all get y'all's walk in today, man. Make sure y'all go outside and y'all walk. Get you some water. Take care of your health. It's important. Make sure y'all do what you do. God got a plan for y'all. And don't give up on self. All right? Y'all be safe. Carter the Boss, the Carter Podcast. We out.